Yo, 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 I hope you're enjoying your ride. It's time
For the Drive for Five.
podcast. Let's go. Yo, 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 it's the Drop for Five podcast, man. We are back with another episode. Yes, sir, yes, sir. Yes, today's a special episode, man. A lot of people don't know. I don't know if you've been rocking with us since the beginning, but today, Miles, Coach Miles, this is our anniversary. 1 year, man.
1 year, man. 365 days. We
365
rocking.
days,
We
man.
rocking. So we appreciate everybody that been rocking with us. We rocking. We still rocking.
Yes, sir. It's your boy, Coach Chris.
It's your boy, Coach Miles.
This is the Drop for Five podcast, man. We got your boy Stu back, man. Coach Stu.
What it
Back
do,
again.
baby?
What's up, fellas?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are back with another episode, man. It's gonna be a good one.
Boy.
It's a special one. We got a lot to talk about. And, hey, man. Hey. These numbers, man. These picks y'all been picking. We all even, man. 6-4 for the season. For the playoffs. In reference to playoff picks.
That's a fluke, man.
Yeah, it's a fluke. It's a fluke. Hey,
Man, I don't know, man. Shit, man. The Bills definitely supposed to win that game. In my eyes.
we are definitely gonna talk about it. Sue went 3-1 last week, man. I went 3-1 last week too. Miles went 2-2, but it's all we're gonna talk about every game. Miles, so hold your thoughts. Hold your thoughts. Let's go on to the first one, man. Right into the first game. We're gonna talk about the Baltimore Ravens versus the Houston Texans. CJ Stroud versus Lamar Jackson. Um Playoff, it was tight game at halftime, 10-10. 10-10, man. Then Lamar Jackson and the Ravens just tore off in the second half, man, winning the game 38-10 behind Lamar Jackson. I believe he had, how many touchdowns he had? He had four?
I think he had two
rushing.
two passing.
Hey,
If you ask me, man, I think Lamar got something that he's got something to prove, and excuse my language, but I think the about him is coming, and yeah, I think I said excuse my language. I think it's coming about him, and he's showing exactly why he deserves to be paid and everything else.
yeah, that's wild, man. But he's been playing like a man possessed, man. Like I said, four
Best
touchdowns,
man in the league.
two rushing touchdowns, two passing
MVP.
touchdowns. Obviously after a while, had to take some time to see what was going on with how they were playing him before he took off, man. But
Well,
but
let me say this. Let me say this. We be skipping over a lot to just throw out the 38-10 score. The Texans were in this football game as much as any team that's beat the Ravens all year.
Yeah, yeah.
The game was over when they missed the field goal that would have put them up 13-10 going into halftime.
Yeah.
They lost their momentum. They're playing great football. They had probably one of the best beads on Lamar that any other defense has had all year because he's gonna make his plays outside of the pocket, scrambling. Those are some things. It's similar to Vic when Vic was playing. You can't. He's gonna make his plays. You got to contain him. They did a great job spying him, and you just knew after they lost that momentum going into half that game was gonna spiral out of control. Now.
yeah. I say the same thing. I think the halftime adjustments, from Harbaugh and being a veteran in the playoffs, and it kind of got to the Texans. They just weren't able to keep up with those adjustments. You know what I mean? I do agree. Momentum is a big piece of the game, man, and it was a close one, 10-10 at half. I think CJ Stroud, played his ass off for the most part.
I think he had enough offensively to keep up.
Well, when you in your first
With injuries, he was dealing with
you got first year,
rookie, things like that. So I just think that Houston just didn't have enough. I think injuries and things like that finally caught up to him when you playing the number one defense in the NFL. I mean, like you can't
They are
deny
as
what the hell
advertised.
the Ravens are doing right now.
Yeah, they are as advertised on defense, boy.
Yeah, man. Rokon is
I
playing
didn't
like
know
a
they had
man
Justin
possessed.
Reed on them. I didn't know they had Justin Reed.
Yeah, yeah. They made a lot of sneaky moves. The Ravens,
They got
man.
a yeah, they got a star studded cast over
They
there.
definitely do.
It's gonna be hard to beat.
Yes, they definitely do. They definitely do. Speaking of being hard to beat, they will play. They played the winner, obviously, of the Buffalo Bills in Kansas City. Ended up being in Kansas City, pulling that one out, beating Josh Allen again, 27-24 in a close one. This was a back and forth game, man. Both guys played their tails off. Touchdown after touchdown. There was a missed um opportunity by Josh Allen and them when they went down the field, and Josh Allen couldn't connect on a. It seems that like he had a touchdown, man. Stu, you can tell me more about it, being the quarterback that you are. He kind of skipped it in the end zone. Was it to secure in the back of the end zone? Did you see that?
Yeah, it was a tough off platform throw, and he saw it late. That happens.
Here,
That you know.
here's my issue, and maybe you guys can agree to disagree, but they have $100 million receiver over there, and for him to have 4 catches for 18 yards, that's in the biggest game of the year. That I just think that's unacceptable, man. And I don't.
Okay, hold on. Who is it unacceptable by?
Right. I was gonna say that. Who do you blame for that?
Who do you blame for that?
I blame him. I
Okay,
mean,
yeah, because
he definitely dropped that
I
five.
saw two huge drops.
How many drops you seen, Stu?
I saw two big drops.
He seemed too big.
I seen two big drops as well, and those.
It has nothing to do with your boy Josh Allen. Like there were big drops and critical moments, and he did not make them. And he causes all these riffraffs throughout the off season and this and that about how Josh Allen ain't this and Josh Allen ain't that. One thing I do see Josh Allen got them played his ass off, whether he's throwing picks or not. He's playing his ass off. But one thing that I do know is you're getting paid top dollar and you ain't showing up. And you want to know how I know you ain't showing up? Here's how I know you ain't showing up. It's because I bet on your props, and your props ain't goddamn giving me what it's supposed
Your
to give
props
me.
ain't propping. They ain't hitting,
So,
man.
so I mean, that's how I feel like you ain't showing up. If you're a damn $100 million receiver and you ain't getting 80 yards in a game, then that's a problem. Because guess what? I can bet on goddamn
Nico Collins. You can bet.
I can bet on Nico Collins, right? I can
Yeah.
bet on him. I can bet on Mike Evans, and I can bet on St. Brown from the damn.
You can bet on Rashid, or you can bet on Stephon Diggs right now.
Puka Nakua.
That
You can
Hey,
you
I love
you
Puka
can bet
Nacua.
on
Ain't
you
no
can bet
knocking,
on
but I'm not a
Puka.
Rams fan. Um, but let me tell you something, man. Sean McVay he just lucked up on receiver. You go from Cooper Cup, Mr. Triple Crown, to Puka the bet. That he did a remarkable this year, man. Revitalized Stafford's career, man. Shout out to him. Um,
did he revalue his career?
I think he did.
I don't think he. I don't think it was his career. I think he just did it for the season. And
You think next season is back to go back
I
to?
mean, either way, I think it's Stafford's last go round, regardless. I think he just plays his contract out.
I hold that thought. That's a topic for another conversation. I don't want to give all our content out too soon. We definitely gonna touch on that. But
Yeah.
I wanna touch on this game, man. You know, there's something about greatness, man. We watched Miles we and Miles had a conversation about this earlier today, kind of about Travis Hunter and like what we think he'll be. But there's certain players in sports that exudes greatness, man. And I'm just starting to feel like Patrick Mahomes is the next guy to do that, man. Like all the away play home playoff games he had, he went away. with receivers that drop balls all year. We constantly
They
said,
lead the
man, that
league in drops.
they lead the league in drops, and we were saying for a while that the Chiefs are done. That they may not even make the playoffs for a second, the way they were looking
Yeah.
in games, man. Travis Kelsey wasn't giving us nothing. You know what I'm saying? It was looking bad. And yet again, for the fifth year in a row, Patrick Mahomes is in the AFC Championship game, getting ready to play for the Super Bowl or play like to go to the Super Bowl, and it goes through him.
Yeah.
Um,
You want to know
um,
who else?
Chris,
Go ahead.
talk to me.
he, Pat Mahomes is Josh Allen's daddy.
He owns Josh Allen, man.
I hate to say it, Josh, man. I love you, but
He owns Josh, dog.
he
But
owns
but but here's the thing, Josh. Don't even feel bad, man, because he don't have to lead right now, man.
so
He,
don't
he's
even feel
Nah,
bad.
a
nah,
young Tom Brady.
Josh should feel bad. And hey, the one thing I said about that game held true. Now, the Chiefs didn't capitalize on it, but it held true. That Josh Allen is going to turn the ball over in a very tight situation. Remember, he scrambles and he fumbles and puts that
Yeah,
ball on the ground
yeah,
in
yeah,
scoring zone in the high red zone. He does that.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's one thing. Now he's a turnover machine.
Josh
That's
is
why
Josh
everybody,
definitely give you one of those, man.
yeah, he's a turnover machine,
He
man.
reminds me. He reminds me, like I said, of like a kind of the Brett Favre, man. Like he just gonna he might.
How dare you disrespect Brett like that?
Let me whoa, 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 whoa. There's
Bro,
there's been times Brett Favre has thrown 5 tubs and remarkable, and there's times Brett Favre threw 2 tubs, 4 picks, and
is
and it was shaky.
Brett Favre is fucking Hall of Famer.
Well, I think Josh Allen at the end
so
of his
I,
career
I,
may eventually be. We're gonna
yeah, I
hold,
don't,
hold, hold, hold,
Josh,
hold, hold,
you
hold,
talking about Josh
hold,
Allen's a
hold,
Hall of
hold, wait,
Famer?
Sue,
Get out
hold.
of here.
Everybody pause. We were. You know what? That's topic for later on in the conversation. I don't want to even. I don't want to ruin y'all thoughts on that. Let's move on to the next game first, and we're gonna touch on that Josh Allen Hall of Famer conversation.
Cut it out.
Buccaneers, Detroit. Man, I
Go
know.
ahead, Booby.
Booby was over there in his seat. Now he had some bets in the game, so he was kind of rooting both sides, but it was looking real good for a second too, man. I had a lot of faith in Baker. Uh, um, Going back and forth with Jared Goff, it looked like he was gonna come back and pull off the upset. But in the end, proved a little bit too much. Detroit wins 31-23 behind Jared Goff. Um, 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 Semi-remarkable game. He had an okay game. I like the way he played this game. He looked like he was on, like he was a seasoned playoff quarterback. Um,
Hey,
Interesting thing
Chris.
happened at the end of this game, real quick.
And
Before
Chris, I am a told you so guy. So I'm gonna go ahead and say I told you so. That Detroit Lions run game was too tenacious for the Bucks. They couldn't do anything with it early, and it wore them down late to finish the game.
yeah. Jameer Gibbs also in the passing game, man. They looked like they were just dinking and dunking over the middle, and it was just like nothing they could do. He looked way more athletic than anybody else on the field, man. Like Jameer had a remarkable game receiving. It was something I want to touch on at the end of this game, man. We didn't really talk about it, but something happened at the end of the game. There was an opportunity for Bucks to get possession one more time, whether it be 12 seconds, 10 seconds, whatever the case may be. But the Detroit kneeled with 31 seconds left on the play clock or the clock. There's 39 seconds left on the game clock, and it honestly all they had to do was call timeout the Bucks, and it would have forced the Detroit Lions to either kick a long field goal, in which the score of 31-23 will prove obviously the fatal kick. But if they missed it, you now have the ball on the 40 going in with 12 seconds and an opportunity to score at least one shot. How you guys feel about that? Do you think it says, hey, forget about it, or is that a big time blunder by the Bucks?
Well, I think that maybe a little frustration kind of gathered there at the end, um, because hindsight definitely you fight that thing out to the last second, regardless of how it goes, and you play out the scenarios that you just said. Kick it, kick it, make it, and it's over. Miss it, and you got a shot from the 40 with little 15 seconds or so to get to score and go for two to tie the ball game and take it to overtime. But I think maybe a little frustration, uh, from the way that final drive went, not being able to stop them on that previous set of downs so that they could actually have about 45 to 50 seconds left. I think maybe that boiled bowled over a little bit, pun intended.
Mm.
Um, but uh, I think a lot of people who really looked at this closely with a magnifying glass are the same people that week 6 wanted to fire Todd Bowles and wanted him out of there and was talking about what a terrible job he was doing. I think this is something that you look at and you said, and I'm sure he says for future preference, he's gonna take the time out as he would have in the past and go forward with however it ends up. Um, because of the nature of the situation that he's in. I mean, he followed up a Super Bowl champ. The expectations were far loftier than the job they did supplying him with the personnel to actually win games.
Yeah.
And that's my take on it. Unfortunate. Um, if I'm in the situation, I take the time out. And I think he probably would if he had a chance to do it over
You
again.
think so? You think it's a little bit of nitpicking going on?
Oh, it 100% is because I laughed at all the Bucks and the Bills fans that were so elated and excited about the playoffs when both of y'all were calling for your head coach's head week 6
Yeah,
and talking about how terrible they were.
yeah, yeah. And here they are in the playoffs, deep in the playoffs at that. Um, going out in the divisional round. Last
Yep.
game. Oh, wait, whoa, 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 whoa. I'm sorry. I know it's a lot to you. You kind of it's kind of near topic to your heart. But Miles, man, how you feel about the game, man?
Yeah, well, I agree with everything you guys are saying, but here's things that aren't being talked about, and I think that going into this thing, I think we kind of knew that we had a shaky defense. I think we knew that we had more firepower on offense than we had on defense, and we knew that if we can keep it into the offensive hands, it would give us a shot to win the game. I just think that there were times where the defense did what they were supposed to do. They had 3 and out, or they had 7 and out, or whatever. But they was able to get the ball back with no points being scored. And offensively, we went 3 and out. And the in NFL, I think it's totally different from college where we got a lot of coaches from we want to get as many series as we can possibly get, and I think in the NFL it's like nah, we need to goddamn make sure that we take pride and we be precious with every single drive that we get because points are very hard to come by, and just I don't think that we took advantage of the points that we should have gotten offensively, and I think we ended up putting it into defensive hands, and we lost the game. And that's where you hear Allen talk about the run game. I think, yeah, they had a decent run game, but we did enough to win the game. And at the end of the day, we're not trying to stop it. We're just trying to contain it. And I think we contained it enough, and the offense did not um, come through like we wanted them to. So that's my take.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense, man. Well, like you said when we was watching the game, man. It's time to reload. What I mean, figure out what y'all gonna do and what you gonna do with Baker. That's a big
Well, I know we
conversation.
lose. I know we lose. Well, we're signing Baker. We're losing Mike Evans, and we're losing Chris Godwin. So
Which means you're done.
Which means you're
And I
dead.
hate to
Yeah,
I hate to say it.
yeah.
I hate to say it, but they're not smart enough to re-sign Mike Evans
With,
with all the pay cuts he took
with all the pay
to help.
cuts,
yeah, because right
all
now,
the
Yeah,
thousand yard
right now we
receivers,
got
receiving years.
right now the Bucks is sitting at 49 million of cap salary.
That's all right. Mike Evans will look beautiful in that blue and red, baby. Go Texans.
And yeah, I wish we would have it to spin on the more. We don't. We kind of our war chest is kind of loaded. Speaking of,
Let, let me throw one more thing out there too. Word on the streets, and I don't know. Now I got some good sources, but word on the streets is that Canales had a phenomenal interview
And he's headed to
with
the Panthers.
the Car. Listen, I'm just saying he had a phenomenal interview with the Carolina Panthers, and he's being held in high regard in this cycle of candidates for their
Mm-hmm.
head coaching spot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
How you feel about that, Mom?
Man, I don't feel no kind of way. Shit. Like, it is what it is. You know, like, I don't know. I've been hearing about it. I know he's got his second interview. I know Raheem Moore's he also is having a second interview. Like, I don't know, but the fact that you're getting involved for the second interview is either one, you're getting the job, or two, you're getting a bigger contract. So
Yeah.
I guess we just wait and see how things play out. But I personally do not think he gets the job. I think he's gonna. I think it's gonna take one more coaching cycle.
Yeah,
But
Yeah, with Slovak out there and some of them other guys. I don't know.
that is about him getting a big contract with the Bucks. Hey, I did this with Baker Mayfield. Pay me. You know?
I mean, what a remarkable
right,
job he did do. Obviously,
right.
getting to the divisional round with Baker Mayfield. Some who thought that was career was headed towards a
Washed up.
watched up
Yeah,
path. Yeah, man. Next
yeah.
game, man, to a team that's been in it consistently for the last couple of years, in the 49ers versus the Packers. A
Look how
consistent
you hype that up,
yeah,
man.
Man. We you know we kind of we not new to this. We not new to this. You know what I mean? But here again, playing for in the divisional round, playing to go for the conference championship, we're going against the Packers. Um, for,
How do you think the 49ers
I
played?
think we play like shit, literally. To be honest with you, I'm gonna be honest.
Okay.
We played. We were supposed to lose that game.
I think
Yes, sir. Okay.
I think y'all played
Long as you
like
be
you was
honest
on the
about it.
off.
Yeah, I agree with that too. It was we were off for 2 weeks, the rain, but we did everything to lose that game, and the Packers did not capitalize on every opportunity to win it. I do feel like I'm
Championship team.
well. Hey, listen, you can say what you want, but I'm gonna tell you this: that was the time to get it. I do think that last drive kind of started kicking things into gear of understanding what we was doing. Devo going down kind of threw us off a little bit. I think he's kind of our go-to guy to get us going. And without him getting us going, I think Shanahan kind of threw off his play call. And I think it was Jennings had a rut or something. We handed him off the ball, and I was looking, what the hell's going on? He's never did that. You know what I mean? But I think that was a play more designed for Debo, and it kind of threw off Shanahan's play calling with Debo being out. So um a lot to attribute to that game, but I do feel like I feel like we got into the groove late. That last drive kind of still things. Our defense stood tall, and I'm afraid for what's about to happen to Detroit. I think it's going to be a blowout. We'll get to that reference to we'll get to that reference to the scores and all that later on in the show. Obviously, we'll say that for the end. But as far as this game going, I do think we had a horrible showing. But I do think one thing stood out to me. Everybody said all year that Brock Purdy could not. That they wanted to see Brock Purdy play from behind when the pressure was on. And can I finish my statement, please? Cut me off. So this is the second time this year that he's done it. The first time was versus the Browns when we missed the field goal in another sloppy rainy game. Shout out to Jake Moody. Um, and then the second time was this versus the Packers this week. And you can say he made one good throw, and whatever the case may be, he didn't throw a pick, he didn't cost us the game, and he won us the game. And that's two to three of the things that everybody said about some of the greatest quarterbacks of all time that didn't have this game changing
So
factor.
is it the throw or is it the catch?
All right, well,
Because I think it's more so the catch.
let me. Did anybody say anything about Julius Edelman catch in the Falcons game?
Yeah, because guess what? Because he's in commercials right now for the same thing.
All right, so did you say anything? Did you say right? So when you said that about did you say that about Tom Brady?
Yes.
No, you didn't. You didn't say Tom Brady. Just it wasn't Tom Brady. It was just a great catch. You said the greatness of Tom Brady. Don't tell me you didn't.
Wait.
Look,
So whoa. So are we comparing?
no, we're not. We're not. What I'm saying is, there's a something brewing within this kid.
He's not MVP.
49ers, by the way,
No.
0-30 when trailing by 10 with Kyle Shanahan until this past weekend with Brock Purdy.
He's not. Oh, he's.
Just FYI, close score game ended 24-21. So tell me how you feel about the game, Sue. You there, Sue?
Well, I'll tell you this. I personally think that the guy had his luck. He made some good throws. He made some good decisions. As far as him being compared to the Lamar Jackson and the Josh Allen and what's the other what's Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrows. I don't think it's like that, man. Because I think that when you talk about those 3 or 4 quarterbacks, I think those are franchise game changing quarterbacks. I think Brock is a product of the system and the players that he's around, and Kyle does a hell of a job at managing the game and the play calling for him to make the plays and some of the throws. Like, yeah, he'll make some throws, yeah, but as far as him going to the damn, I don't think he makes the Seattle Seahawks better. Like, I don't think he makes the Cardinals better. But I do say this: if Mahomes or Allen or Jackson or Mahomes they go to any other team, there's somebody wanting to go play with him.
So I mean, all right, real quick. So if
Oh,
Tom
can I
Brady was,
let me know when I can jump in on this, man?
oh, okay,
Good,
I'm sorry.
because I'm about to throw up over
You
here.
tell me how. So you tell me how you feel. Is Brock Purdy legit?
Yeah, I'm wiping my mouth from all the throw up listening to that because until the end of football, quarterbacks will always be measured by one thing: is he a winner?
Yeah,
He's a winner.
Period.
yeah, you're right.
You can win with Brock Purdy. Like like saying that he is a product of the system and da da da
Yeah,
da. He makes the throws.
He makes the throw.
You can't say
eighth row.
what
He
you
makes
can't
eighth
say
row.
what he
He
would
makes eighth
do.
row
He
a
makes
game.
eighth row.
Stop,
He makes
stop,
eighth
stop.
row
Hold
a
on,
game.
hold on. You can't say what he wouldn't do in another system. They said he couldn't play in this system because he was drafted last in the whole draft class. So they didn't think he could play National Football League. They didn't think so. And look what he's doing now, leading the NFC Championship team. Like, how could you count this dude out? All he does is win. All he does is make clutch plays. He's had a couple bumps in the road down this latter part of the year, like a normal quarterback. He's appeared to be normal in a couple of games down the stretch this season, and then he just comes back in the playoffs and continues to make plays and make plays and make plays
That's all he does.
and win games.
Man,
And I could count endless amount of teams out there that would love a winner right now. He is not Jimmy Garoppolo. He's not him. He's not him at all. You know what I'm saying? Only thing normal about him is as a person outside of football. When he puts on a uniform, he's a special football player.
that kid is special, and it's See, this is the thing that I have an issue with. A reference to the guys talking about Brock Purdy. I like you say, I'm behind you 100%. I measure by a winner, but to try to compare him to special playmaker as far as just the quarterback position, we're comparing apples and oranges. Lamar Jackson, special football player, just overall. Like not even at quarterback, just special. Period. Patrick Mahomes, he does some special things with his arm. These are special guys, but it doesn't mean anything if they don't win. Perfect example.
I agree.
Perfect example. We talk all day long about the greatest quarterback of all time. And as far as accuracy, things of that nature, there's a lot of other people that can come to mind that we could talk about, i.e., Marinos and Vicks and things of that nature. But we can't talk about them. You know why? Because they haven't won. And those people who have won, the Brady's, the Montanas, the average Joes, these are winners. And Purdy's proven to be that. He hasn't lost in the playoffs, guys. Let's be honest. The
You
only
don't have
L
to.
that he
You don't
has
have
on the
to. You don't
playoff
have to
record was the
convince me,
one that he
man.
started and left in the first quarter.
Yeah.
He hasn't lost. This man is undefeated in the playoffs, and we're saying, hey man, he's regular. No, he's not regular. You know, 1 week, 1 year, and I'm a 49 fan. Do you know 1 year last year versus the Packers? Not last year, the year before versus the Packers. We threw the ball a total of 10 times. Jimmy Garoppolo went 6 of 10 for, I want to say, about 90 yards, and we won the game. That's the game manager. That's a just don't ruin us guy. Man, Brock Purdy threw the ball 36 times, I want to say, this past game. Yeah, it was only 23 completions or something along that lines, but he was slinging the ball to win the
I need
game.
him to have 20 completions this week.
We're gonna get to that
Oh,
too.
I'm taking
He's
the over.
slinging the ball.
So
He's
we're gonna
slinging it.
talk about
So
the
it's
top
on to him. Hey,
20.5.
hey, let's talk. We're not talking about, Dak Prescott with a immense amount of talent he has around him, and he still isn't winning
Yeah,
it.
now that's a whole different. That's I
Man,
mean, shit. I
y'all
mean,
get off. Y'all get off Dak.
yeah,
Y'all get
We
off.
can
Y'all
go
get
off the
off Dak.
Bears, man. Let's get off that.
Dak.
Pause and go straight to Josh Allen. All right, back to Josh Allen. This question, man, came up earlier in the podcast. We was talking about it earlier when the Bills and the Chiefs and him coming up short again to Patrick Mahomes and him being a little brother. You know, there's a question looming now, right? Because in football, there's tiers, and you said something very important, which brought us here, and it's that we measure quarterback by one thing:
win.
win.
And I'm gonna tell you something
So,
that I heard.
1 second, let me
I
pause my
read on
question.
Twitter.
Let me pose my question. Based upon the career so far that Josh Allen had, is Josh Allen elite?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if what we're talking about when we say elite, but
Yeah, yeah.
it's,
I,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying. I
Okay,
don't know what. Yeah, like tell
I'm
me
gonna
what
put a
you.
class. All right, we're gonna put a class right now. There's Mahomes, right? Mahomes, and then there's a class. This the second tier of class of quarterbacks, right? And we're gonna say quarterbacks. Obviously, gonna move Mahomes because he's been there 5 straight times in the AFC Championship. He's pushing Brady level, right? In reference to it goes through him. So there's the top dog, right? And then as you said, he has his son, right? And I don't even want to say Josh Allen is his son because he's never lost to Josh Allen in the playoffs. So I
And
don't
he's
even want
not.
to
And
call him
he's
his
and he's
son.
and he's and he's not going to.
And he doesn't appear to be anytime soon because Buffalo looks like they're going to
Right.
rebuild. So
Right. Right.
is Josh Allen? Can he be in the tiers of the Joe Burrows and the Lamar Jacksons for real? I mean, granted the talent he has, but if he doesn't win it, like what are we talking about?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
You think so? Go ahead. I oppose that, so I'll let you go ahead and
Yeah,
talk
I
your
think
shit.
so because again, to me, as long as you got that second tier of a quarterback, I mean, as long as you have subpar guys around you, you're always going to be in the mix of things. So, as long as you got a quarterback, and you have a few guys that you can throw to. And currently, right now, he has Kincaid, Knox, and damn
Yeah,
the $100 million guy that they're planning to not show up.
plan
So,
on trade. I see a trade coming soon, but that's another
I mean,
conversation.
regardless of what you see, I know what I seen, and he ain't showed up. So,
uh,
um, as long as you have a quarterback of his stature and you have guys around him that he has around him, I think that they're gonna forever always be in the mix. So for them for always being in the mix, he is always in the mix and he's always in the media. So he's always gonna be measured by how he carried this team to beat the damn Browns or Bengals or Steelers or whoever they're playing, and he had to run for 65 yards or whatever the case may be. Like, I think as long as you got him and you got some guys around him, like, again, you're gonna always be in the mix. So
So long as he's in the mix, like, because like
I mean, he's always gonna be a big. He's
there's that tier. There's that tier. What I mean is like, all right. So you know how there was Tom Brady,
yeah,
obviously.
yeah, I know what you're
Then
talking
there was
about.
like, Ben Roethlisberger jumped in that conversation when he won him a couple
I'm,
bowls.
I think it was Tom,
I'm,
Eli,
and then you
in that
had
conversation, who got two Super
Eli.
Bowls. You had Peyton
I'm,
Manning, who got a bowl, but then you had the guys who were just good. And right now, even though they had remarkable careers, wasn't the ones that we thought, but somewhat similar to Josh Allen, Cam Newton, right? Granted,
check, yeah,
you know what I mean? Had remarkable
yeah.
career,
And you can't even put him in the Cam Newton category because Cam was a motherfucking MVP. Excuse my language.
and he got to the Super
Put some
Bowl.
put some
He
put
got to
some
the Super
respect
Bowl.
on Cam name now.
With nobody on
So,
his roster,
so,
but
so,
that tight end.
so, even with Cam not being in the tiers, because Cam, you can't put Cam in the tiers with the Ben Roethlisberger's and those guys because he has to go down to tier 3 because of that, right? So now you're
Right?
dropping Josh now down to tier 4. So when I'm saying when I say elite, right, we're talking about tier 4 in the
Okay.
NFL of quarterbacks.
Well, I'll say this then. I'll say
Is
this.
he top 10?
Right now, and how you described it, he is not top tier. He's not elite. In the overall bird's eye view that you just described, bringing Cam, all those other guys into it, things like that. He is not. I think you threw a name out there that almost describes he's a poor man's Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah,
You know what
right.
I'm saying? Except Ben was a winner.
Ben was the winner.
That's Ben was a winner. Like he's a young Ben. Think about how Ben could move around. You know what I'm saying? When he just got into the league and he was making plays with his feet, getting out, sliding. He's even better than Ben
Right.
running the ball. I would say.
Ben 2.0,
But
but just not a winner. Doesn't have the winning
yeah,
gene.
and the one thing I would agree with you with is I see a trade and that whole Buffalo thing breaking up here in the near future.
Oh, very soon. Very, very soon. I mean, it almost has to happen. Diggs ain't he's not happy for the last couple of weeks he hasn't been really eclipsing the 75-yard mark for the most part. He's just been there. And again, like Miles said, $100 million and he's just not being able to live up to it is becoming a problem, man. I feel like
But
one or two gotta
check this
go.
check this out though,
They
Chris.
say
Check this out though.
they ain't breaking things up, so we'll see.
But check this out though. They just had the coordinator change, Chris. I'm giving them some grace on that.
That's mid-year though.
They just right. That's what I'm saying. They just had it.
Yeah.
So he had to turn that page and turn that gear to be able to run the football to try to win games and get back in the playoff hunt. Think about the whole transformation that offense had to go through
That's
just to get them back in the hunt to be in position to make a playoff game.
That's crazy. And you got a guy you paying $100 million.
And I agree with that. I agree with that. All the way up
Take me
until
$100 million.
all the way up until it's win or go home. And I like you said, I got $100 million sitting over there, and I gotta get him the ball somehow. Like that, I get it in the beginning of the season.
Bubble screens.
I don't care how to get him the ball. It's their best offensive weapon, and you just said it yourself. You can't start the conversation by saying I don't care what happened. He got 4 catches for 18 yards, and he didn't figure it out. And then say what you want him to do to get the ball. Get open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have to right. So I shouldn't have to throw
No,
you no damn sweet.
no. I think what I'm saying is they did the things necessary to get him the ball. They connected on 4 of them. Two were dropped, and I don't know how many other targets he had. So they had a plan to get him the ball.
He had 8 targets.
For
4 catches.
yeah. So for whatever reason, you know what I'm saying,
So
4 of them things didn't work out. That's all.
I gotta trade you.
Yeah, man, a couple, man.
Gotta trade you.
Maybe he don't play well in the cold. I don't know. Let's get him up out of there.
Yeah.
Let's get him back.
Well, but see, here's the other part though, fellas, and the most important part. What's out there? What's out there to go get? Mike don't want to go play in Buffalo. I know that for sure. I know that for sure. For sure.
I think Mike goes
He
to
go.
Houston or Dallas.
He go. Yeah, he heading back to Texas, home. That's where he's from.
Well, if I'm Buffalo, I could trade Diggs for a receiver that's primed for a breakout. Someone maybe like a Jameson Williams or
What? But see, here's the other part of that though. The other team has to be willing to take on that contract. Who's going to be willing to do that? They looking at it the same way you looking at it with him having a lack of production.
I will tell you this. Here's my thing about Stephon Diggs, man. He reminds me of somebody. But I'm gonna tell you this. Stephon Diggs is a revolving door. Just he's gonna have a good first 3 years with you. He's gonna have a disgruntled year with the quarterback. He's gonna demand a trade. He's up out of there, right? It almost happened a few years ago with Buffalo, and he happened to stay and sign that big contract. But that's just who he is. If someone trades for him, preferably a dome team, somewhere like how he was in my Minnesota, Detroit, uh, 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 you get a stud receiver.
He's not a Detroit grit guy.
I agree. I can dig that. I can dig that. Maybe you send them out the Los Angeles and pick up one of them young receivers out there and Quentin Johnson or something in a draft pick. I don't know.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa sounds Chris Godwin. Go get Chris Godwin in a draft pick for Stephon Diggs. I mean, why not take it? Hey, I don't know. I'm not a Bucks GM. Our war chest is loaded. We got to figure out how we can sign Brandon Ayuk next year. So that's what
y'all can get anybody to do with Brandon Ayuk.
You think we can get anybody to be Brandon Ayuk?
Yeah.
We have.
Man, that's miserable that you say.
Yeah,
that.
It's kind of
that's
terrible.
terrible.
His football IQ about receivers because Brandon Ayuk is special.
He plays without the ball in his hands.
Special. He blocks consistently. He does what you want every receiver to do. So if you don't believe he's special, I'm starting to wonder what kind of receiver you like. How you scouting? Who are you? What are you looking at when you look at a receiver and think that they're special? Give me your most special. Who's a special receiver to you? Well, give me your special receiver.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's a decent blocker. That's part of that's part of his job. That's part of the scheme.
Well, name me another receiver.
They're winning, so yeah, he's gonna be more willing to block.
Are you gonna skip the question and not name another? Who do you think is special? Give me a special receiver to you. I'm starting. I'm gonna test. I want to see your thought process.
The special receiver is it would be your boy from Rams, Puka guy.
Puka.
You know, it would be what's your boy name? Hold on, let me think.
All right. I mean, if you only name one in NFL, we're talking about NFL right now. Give me some.
I mean, I like CD Lamb.
You think CD Lamb? You would rather have
I in that offense. I would rather have CD Lamb than Brandon Ayuk.
Which is prefer that reason why.
That's what we're talking about.
Exactly. Which is why you would have an issue
I would rather
within
have
your program. Look what's happening in Dallas. What's happening in Dallas? So you just want a guy who wants the ball all the time.
Man, I
you're
want a guy that when
hey
he
man.
does get the ball that for 3 or 4 times, I want him to make sure that he make the most of every bit of them damn 4 catches.
Hey, Chris, you're just being the 49ers fan right now, hating on CD Lamb.
I'm not hating on CD Lamb. We're talking about two different
not liking the Cowboys.
No,
CD, you can't say any receiver's name in the National Football League right now today without saying CD Lamb's name. You
so
cannot.
you think he's the best or top 3 in the league right now?
I would rather have St. Brown
Yeah.
than Brandon Ayuk. On the
Ooh,
line.
that's
Yeah, tell me I'm crazy.
You're crazy. Oh, you're crazy.
he could support his argument. He could support his argument now.
I can see. Amon-Ra is a poor man's Brandon Ayuk.
Whoa! That's disrespect.
Ooh, that's funny.
I'm gonna say I'm not disrespecting,
but that's disrespect.
I'm gonna tell you this. The reason why I'm saying this because
he's just saying they're on different levels.
And they're different levels. When we're talking about a complete receiver, I'm talking about a complete receiver, not this prima donna. Oh, he's just good. Oh, when the ball's in his hand, he's amazing. I'm talking about a guy who springs running backs. A guy, springs other receivers. I'm talking about who's blocking downfield consistently. There's not a game film tape that you can't put on where you're not seeing this guy downfield blocking. And I mean blocking guys out of bounds sometimes. This kid consistently plays nonstop throughout the whistle. And I look at these other guys, I mean, they're only playing when the ball's in their hand. And you're telling me that this is who you want? That's your team? My thing is this. There's a reason why the Niners are winning. And it's getting guys like a Brandon Ayuk who you think is just not sexy enough as a receiver for you to be like, yeah, I'll take him. This is the same thing you feel about Brock Purdy. It's like, yeah, he just doesn't have that thing that I like that looks nice. It's not about that.
McCaffrey.
They also said Deebo Samuel was just 2 years ago. You said Deebo Samuel couldn't run routes, but it doesn't matter.
But so what? They to utilize exactly who he is.
Exactly what Brandon Ayuk. It's the same thing. Right. He can run routes. He can run routes. He blocks downfield.
We talked about who would you rather have?
I would rather have Brandon Ayuk.
I would rather have CD Lamb.
I would rather have Brandon Ayuk
from the line.
I would rather have a guy that's going to block for my running back down the field, blocking 4 touchdowns, and not just worry about my stats.
But I think they also carry the fact that, hey, when we do play action, we can get more than just the 25, 30 yards. We can get that 70. We can get that big play.
You can't get 70 with Brandon Ayuk?
I ain't seen it.
Well, you don't have a quarterback not pushing downfield. That's not
if they had CD Lamb, then guess what?
I'm gonna listen.
Here's how I know. Because when Shanahan was with the damn Falcons, he was more vertical because he had receivers. He had Rowdy, he had Julio,
he had an MVP quarterback that year in Matt Ryan.
Well, you just got done saying that fucking Brock Purdy's MVP.
Right, but he had Julio Jones as well, which is a freak. We're talking about it like it's. We're two different things here. So what I'm saying
are we saying that you guys don't have that elite talent?
I'm telling you that Brandon Ayuk is a complete receiver, and for you to down talk the kid like, yeah, man,
I'd rather have. You asked me a question, I answered it. That's it.
So
I think he's good, but I don't think he's elite, right?
You thinking like the Bucks GM.
And that's fine. Bucks GM got a damn people.
Yeah, he went and got Tom Brady.
So that's fine. Well, then,
you got a great
if he's thinking to go get Tom Brady to get a chip, then that's what I'm thinking too.
We tried. We tried just like you did. Every 4 years we tried.
Well, then guess who I would rather be? The damn Bucks GM than John Lynch, because the Bucks GM was able to get him.
Oh.
Yeah. John Lynch wasn't.
So we'll see who still has a job in 2 years. Um,
That I
moving,
don't care about.
hey,
Chip.
who would you rather be? That's the question.
I would rather be
Um,
with the chip.
I, I, I got you. So next question, man. Another question about quarterbacks. This that kind of was turned to the debate, but this is another one, man.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, AFC Championship game. This weekend, Sunday, we got Mahomes versus Lamar. Question of the day: who is the better? Who would you rather have right now in this game? Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson,
Mm.
to go to the Super Bowl. Who you pick? Who would you rather run your team as it stands right now, currently with these two superstar quarterbacks?
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson. Why you say that? Why you say that, Stu?
I just think he gives you the best chance to win. Um, I think I watch him corral his team, galvanize his team last weekend. It sticks out of my head. They ran like a quarterback G scheme to the left,
Counter.
and
Fucked up.
the tackle was slow getting up to the second level,
Mhm.
and Lamar had to run past him. He got with him, cussed him out pretty good.
Oh, you heard that
I
on
don't know
TV
if
too?
yeah, I
Yeah,
thought that's what I heard.
that's exactly what you
I
heard.
could I could be wrong. Um, and they went back to that play on the 4th and 1,
And he scored a
uh,
touchdown.
and he scored a touchdown on it. And the first thing they did was they embraced each other. So like he's galvanizing
Yes, sir.
that
Yes,
offense and
sir. Good
those
chemistry.
teammates that they follow him. He is a true leader in everything he's doing. Not to say Mahomes isn't, but I haven't seen it like this with guys in a long time. Where you see it out there on the field
Mm.
happening in real time, not on the bench, on the sideline. Like they playing for each other. So I think it's something special going on over there. And his ability to run just really is a game record for defensive coordinators.
Yeah, I can't take nothing from you. See, you just hit it on the nail. That's exactly what I was thinking, and I ain't changing it. Like, and then not to mention that the kid is he's hungry for it as well. Like they're all hungry for it. They got the defense in place. I think they got just enough offensively um, to get it done. I think it's just more so of getting it done. So, um, yeah, I'm going with two 100%.
I'm gonna play. Um, I think you guys are absolutely right. I think that Lamar is the most special player in the league. He kind of he reminds me he's the LeBron James of football.
Mhm.
All right, that can be agreed upon. Here's my thing. I kind of look like Mahomes, like Stephen Curry, and Mahomes is just like no matter what he has, dog. Like we just talked about this earlier, man. Just drop at the drop at the drop, man. I remember the game with Valdez Scantling wide open versus Philly, drops the ball wide open, man. Like these are games that are being left on the field where his record would be a lot more. Right, we'll be talking about Mahomes for another MVP this year if like some of these receivers catch these balls and maybe a record-setting season from Patrick Mahomes if these receivers catch 3/4 of these balls, and it's like I don't know, man. Like I just feel like when you going against these guys that are just have this winning gene in them, man, like the Patrick Mahomes, it's hard to bet against them, especially when the magnitude is so big and the pressure is so big. Um, there's gonna be mistakes. It's gonna be, Lamar's gonna do all these things to be special, but it's the players around him and how yeah I've seen him galvanize them last week. That's one thing when you're doing it versus a team full of rookies. You know what I mean? But when you got Patrick Mahomes on the other end, and you can't control the thoughts of the DB who looks at Patrick Mahomes and think, oh shit, here he come again, or you can't control your receiver who's like, man, this is to go to the Super Bowl. I hope I catch it. Like you literally gotta manage the game to win. And I just think that Patrick Mahomes is the ultimate guy to do that. Like that's just what he does at his best. And I don't know, man. I just feel like at this particular moment, in a game like this, I would rather have Patrick Mahomes. I would rather have a guy that's just gonna figure it out, ways to win, whether with arms, legs, whatever the case may be, rather than a guy who hasn't proven. And no, not the Lamar again. Love you, Lamar, man. I think you'll go. I hope you win it at one day, not this year because we still in it, baby. But really, man, like I think Patrick Mahomes has that special gene where he just knows how to win, and Lamar Jackson still hasn't proven that he can do it. If he does do it, if he does beat Lamar, I mean, he does beat Patrick Mahomes in the AFC Championship game this Sunday, then here we go. He writes his name in that wall and he says, "Hey, I'm here. I finally arrived." But until he does that, until you dethrone the king, it's kind of hard for me to put you above him. You know what I mean?
You know what? Let me say this, man. Let me say I'm gonna be real quick. Like I hate this thing that people think that when this team plays that team, they compare. They say it's quarterback against quarterback. They don't fucking play against each other.
Yeah,
Okay, they're lining up. The Pat Mahomes has the tougher battle in the two because the Ravens defense is far better than the Chiefs defense.
agreed.
So to me, it's two feathers in Mahomes' hat if he goes and beats Baltimore because that's the number one defense. You know what I mean? And then the same thing. I'm gonna say this: just when I thought that dude couldn't get any better, we watched him grow up and get even better because like the media does, there's something negative they're gonna find about everybody.
Yeah.
So the thing on Mahomes was he never won on the road. Well, he never fucking played on the road. Like, what do you want him to do? How's he supposed to win on the road if he's never played on the road?
Yeah.
Now he goes on the road, and what does he do?
Close it out.
He gets wins. Like, so I'm enjoying watching uh
Who
Mahomes grow because I think if we're talking about anybody being a future Hall of Famer, we're watching one in Patrick Mahomes.
agreed. So with that being said, and I know it's kind of the same question. AFC Championship on the line, like you said, it ain't quarterback versus quarterback. It's team versus team in the biggest moments of it all. Kansas City, being there pretty much the last 5 years. So the experienced team, more experienced team. Who do you think has a better game, Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson in the game? Just the performance alone.
I think
I'm going with Lamar, man,
yeah,
because he's gonna do things we've never seen before, and not this era of fans. No, I'm saying you have to go back to the Mike Vick era to see plays that he's gonna make this Sunday or Saturday, whenever it is.
Yeah, I've been
Like
I've been noticing he hasn't really used his legs much this year. Playoffs, starting to come. He's starting to do whatever it takes to win. You know what I mean?
to win, there it
And,
is.
and,
Yeah.
and I do see a different Lamar. It is scary. I'm not gonna lie. That it's a scary to see that man behind center.
Man, he broke the Texans back last week when he had that 40-yard run.
Yeah, man.
It was like oh
It was so
man.
fast. It happened so quick. It's hard for DB, man. Imagine backpedaling and covering the receiver, full sprinting 40 yards down the field. You turn around and Lamar Jackson's behind you because the man runs a 4.3. So it's like it was amazing to see. We'll see how he performs this weekend against Sunday. The AFC Championship is here. Hey man, quick topic real quick. I want to touch on this, man. Jim Harbaugh news just broke today. Has officially joined the Los Angeles Chargers as the head coach of the football team. Congratulations to
Yeah, we
him. Just recently won
we all we all knew that was going down.
national champion at Michigan.
I'm gonna listen, man. I know. I think after
Plan on
this,
he planned on bringing his DC and there's another coach he's bringing on along as well with him over
That's on the
to
defensive side.
yes.
So speaking of his coaching, uh, Maroons or Mahomes, whatever his name is, Maroon, is supposed to be, you know, the next Michigan head coach, which is the black guy,
Who?
the OC,
OC,
the old
the
line
OC
coach.
that won the game versus
That,
He is
that
he is not he is not going to be the
he's
next
gonna be
Michigan
the
head
next
coach.
OC.
The
So
next OC.
yeah, I mean
Who
he's gonna
took?
be the next head coach. So and
Who
now
told you that?
that
Where you?
is
No,
now
no, no,
that
no. Where? No, no, no. Where are you getting this nonsense
I'm
from?
man, the same spot where I'm getting all my Twitter information from. I got
I
it on
think that's
Twitter.
crap.
And
Brian Kelly.
until I see something different, too, that's what I'm going with. And
Brian Kelly is going to be the next head coach at
I
Michigan.
don't think so. I think Brian Kelly stays exactly where he is.
I think there was talks of Brian Kelly entertaining some OC positions in the NFL again. Not sure how he
Nah,
feels
Yeah,
about that.
no,
I don't
Brian
think he'll
Kelly,
ever do that.
he will not, he will be gone from Michigan in 2, 3 years. I think they keep it the same. I think they give Buddy a chance. They've been playing. They've been rocking with him the last couple of things and last couple of games. I think it was all set up to show that he can manage a team and
Okay,
win big games.
okay.
Because he beat Penn
So,
State, he beat Ohio State, right?
will he
And I
be
think
the
that
will
explains
he
why
be
he
the
was
first black head
crying
coach at
on
Michigan?
national TV.
Will he be the first black head coach at Michigan
I believe so. 95% says yes. So unless they change
who
my
who doesn't see color?
yeah, maybe they don't see color, man. Man, I mean, I'm going. That's what I'm going with until that shit get changed.
No, I feel you.
So
They might like him because he doesn't see color.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's
that too.
crazy,
That
man.
too. He definitely doesn't. I can tell you that
Interesting,
for a fact.
interesting, man. Speaking of black head coaches,
Why he watches why I think he'll get the job. Because he doesn't see
Yeah.
color.
If he gets that job, I know why he said it.
mm,
Right, right. Me too. Me too.
yeah,
I agree.
yeah,
Yes. Yes,
makes more
sir.
sense now.
It makes a lot more sense now. Yep.
Yeah.
So, speaking of black coaches, Adrian Griffin, NBA coach for the Milwaukee Bucks, recently was fired this weekend. 30-13 record, second in the East. Obviously, Milwaukee's been having some issues this year, especially on defense. They went from I think they was third or fourth ranked last year. This year to the bottom rank at 26, something along that line.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Dame Lillard, trade recently came over. Probably not much of a defender. They recently had Drew Howard. They was very defensively stacked recently before the Dame Lillard trade. But how you guys feel about that, man? Coach getting fired mid-season in the middle of the season,
Players ain't want him.
um, and you got a 30 and 13
Wow.
record.
Wow.
Players ain't want
I think you said it all with their excuse that the defense was bad. You said it all. They got rid of their defensive players. They
Yeah,
gave that up to be better offensively, and they were. They were number one
right.
offensively. So you got what you paid for. But as the overall thing, I think it's bad for sports. It leaves you scratching your head. All right, was there conflict outside that people didn't know about? Nope, none has came out yet. Because now it says that winning and competing and being successful isn't the bar for maintaining your job. So it's bad. It's bad for sports. But like every other professional team, I mean, you got owners owning their team and GMs making decisions. So
So part of what they stated that they were chasing the championship. They said that obviously Giannis probably has a little bit of input. Interesting thing about that was Giannis was in on him being hired in the first place. Was one of the coaches that he requested. So with him being fired abruptly in the middle of the season, you would wonder what was going on with the Giannis and their head coach. But they're recently in talks. This is talks of Doc Rivers coming.
It's already final.
That's
It's already
finalized.
final,
There we
man.
go. Chasing the
So you know
championship.
that's been in the works
That's
for
already been in the
some
works.
weeks now.
I think so too.
So with that being in the works, I know it's does that give you a better chance to win? I mean, isn't that messing up the team chemistry? Like, if you think a coach comes in mid-season and he's just gonna work up a championship team,
I think so.
Hey, Chris, answer one question. In the last decade, how many teams has Doc Rivers been on and that were stacked, loaded personnel wise, and he just has not won with them? And I like Doc.
I like that. I
I,
love
I
that. I
like
agree.
I like Doc.
Six, seven
But
teams.
as a coach, I would be remiss
6 or
not
7.
to speak about what his resume says. He
Yeah,
can't win the big one.
yeah, I
He
agree.
can't.
I agree. I don't think he's built for
He
the
need
big man.
KG to come back to win it.
He probably will. You need that guy that got that mentality.
Ray Allen.
I'm wondering when they're gonna bring Mark back. Like when they're gonna give Mark Jackson a chance. I feel like if they give if he gets another
Orlando.
team like how he did with starting that whole Golden State rock.
He
Orlando.
drafted it, Chris. He drafted it.
Man,
That is not the only other place you've seen that happen was in OKC.
yeah.
Name another place where they've drafted just straight ballers,
Yeah,
all stars.
it very rarely happens, man. OKC, like you said, and OKC just did it again. Actually, they did it the first time with Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, and um, James Harden. Then they doubled down this year. They got Shea and Giddy and Chet Holmgren. Man, they got
Yeah, I don't agree with that at all.
you don't like them.
You just almost compared, like there's people out there that will argue that first group as Hall of Famers, and you just compare them to these young non-defense playing ass
No,
new NBA players. Come
so
on, man.
what we're doing? What I'm listen. So here's the thing. There has to start somewhere. And I say they're almost doing it again, meaning you got like this is how it started. No one knew that these guys would be you didn't know James Harden was a bona fide all-star coming off the bench until he just started hooping.
Well, he was a bona fide all-star at Arizona State.
Yeah, great. Amazing.
Facts.
There's a lot of bona fide all stars in the NBA. I mean, in college basketball that come on NBA teams and don't do poodle pup. So and I'm talking about number 1 pick. So we don't even want to talk about that. I'm talking about the fact that he was a sixth man, and no one expected Russell Westbrook to turn into the guy that he was.
That's true.
They thought that he was just gonna be a facilitating pushy guard, and he's gonna be a sixth man. This man turned it up and started averaging triple double, and watch history. You don't know until you know. You didn't know Shea Alice Gilchrist was gonna be good either until he started hooping.
Yeah.
Until
Facts. The other two, the
That's
other
my thing.
two
How
are
he was
are
hooping.
average
Yeah, the other
at
teams
best.
in the first year and
They're
second year player.
average at best.
Well, they got time. That's what I'm saying. They got time, and then you got Jalen Duran over there. They got a couple pieces that they're building over there, and we'll yet to be known how good they'll all be. But I can tell you that they're doing a great job drafting over there. That's all I can say. When you get in playoff, you're in playoff consistently in OKC at that, where no superstar wants to come play, and you're back in the playoffs again based off totally built on the draft. So a remarkable job by their front office and whatever it is they're doing over there. Hey man, so look, let's get into our picks this week, man. It's conference championship week. We're all 6-4. Alan's 6-4. Miles is 6-4. I'm 6-4. Last week I went 3-1. Miles went 2-2, and Sue went 3-1.
Yes, sir.
We're here, man. This is conference championship week. Biggest games to go to the Super Bowl. Hey, if you're gonna separate yourself, this is the week to do it. All right. So we're gonna break down the games. First game this weekend is Saturday at 3 o'clock. It's the Niners Yes, sir. The Niners. And we're playing the Lions at home in Levi's. Brock Purdy versus Jared Goff. Who you got, Miles?
I got the 49ers 17-13. I think the Lions they keep it close. They kick that field goal to make it 13, and then they try to keep it close. But uh, I just think that 49ers have too much experience and you know, that to be able to pull this one out. So I'm gonna go with 17-13. Um, I need to find out what the spread is. So if anybody out there know what the spread is, make sure y'all
I
reach
thought
out.
it was 7. I'm not mistaken. It's 7.
But I'm definitely taking if it's 7, I'm definitely taking plus 7 with the Rams. I mean with the Lions. I think they give a tough fight, and if they get a couple things go their way, then maybe they'll pull it out. But I just can't see it happening. Maybe I'm wrong. I've been cursing all these teams, so who knows?
Chris,
What you
Chris,
got, man?
Jared Goff goes back home and pulls off the upset victory
Oh
to
wow.
continue the I can't even call it Cinderella because that ain't tough and gritty enough.
Definitely a Cinderella story.
I'm gonna call it 24-17
I,
Detroit Lions.
I was thinking that the other one.
Golf goes home and brings an NFC championship back to Detroit for the first time since
53
since
years.
uh since World War something.
Right,
Mm,
53 years.
interesting, man. Hey, listen,
Look, hold on. Let me tell you this part. Hold on, let me tell you this part so you don't think I'm just saying it just to be obtuse to you. The 49ers will have problems moving the football without Debo Samuels in the lineup.
You don't think he was playing?
I I I think if he does, that thing gets fired up again because you don't come back from a shoulder injury that takes you out of a game. He didn't return. He didn't attempt to return. He got dinged up, walked off, never came back. Went in, got MRIs, whatever. They saw something in them soft tissue X-rays or whatever that said, no, you're not returning. So that's gonna be hurting this week. The one thing that the Detroit Lions do is they stop the run. Ask Tampa Bay. They
Hey,
tried to
hey,
run that
Allen.
rock to no avail.
Hey, Allen.
Yeah.
Well, you know they got an elite receiver over there too. So those
Oh,
Who
bad.
who you talk
hey,
who
that's
you talking
fine. That's
about?
fine. Why? I don't need the Niners slander right now. Let
Well,
me get my
listen, no,
pick.
it ain't Niner
No, I'm
slander.
talking
I'm
about
just
Miles
saying,
and his
I'm just
receiver comment. I want to get my pick.
Debo Samuel shouldn't be an issue.
I want to get my pick, and then we can talk because the Bucks aren't in right
oh,
now.
I see what you're saying. I see what you're
The
saying,
Bucks
Miles.
aren't in right now, so I want to talk.
But I'm just saying, so I just think that they're gonna have trouble moving the ball. I think their defense is good enough to keep them in it, but I watched them last week against that damn Packers team. And that was a different defense than I've seen all year. They took on the bend but don't break. But I saw some weaknesses in that defense that I hadn't seen all year. And I think that Detroit will find some things that they can capitalize off of and really maintain possession of the football and keep that 49ers offense on the bench. So no run game from Christian McCaffrey because of that front seven from Detroit. And then Detroit possessing the ball on offense makes it tough. Purdy only gets 14 points out of the deal.
Hey,
Maybe or 17 points.
so
Gotcha.
real quick, Chris. Hopefully you answer this question.
Can I answer my pick first before you get me answer the question?
Let me throw this out.
Jeez.
'Cause I want you to answer it while you answer your question. Does Ben Johnson, which is the OC for the Detroit Lions, get the head job for the Washington Commanders? Does that affect game planning and everything when it comes to that particular game? That's what I want to know from you.
I can't speak for the Detroit side, but I can't because I'm gonna tell you this. Brian Greasy just recently interviewed for a couple of OC positions. So I mean, our quarterback coach is interviewing for some positions. I believe Steve Wilkes did a couple of interviews, and we still won. So I'm not sure how much that will affect. They're professionals, so I'm sure that Ben Johnson will be prepared for the biggest game of his career, playing against the to me the number one, number two defense in the league this year. Now, my pick. See, this is the thing about me, man. I watch the Niners. Obviously, I'm a fan, but I watch them every week, and I see our when we're up, and I see when we're down, and I know how this little thing of ours works. We will win this game convincingly. Convincingly. And I'm gonna tell you this. This is something that Brock Purdy slander, the whole thing about the Lions being the Cinderella, it all comes to an end this weekend because there are some things that are just a part of football. And you say these things about that your front seven. I say we got a front seven of our own with an offensive line, and with Trent Williams and a hungry O line that's been chasing this particular Super Bowl for a long time. George Kittle chasing the Super Bowl for a long time. We have an opportunity in front of our face, and we have a quarterback that can actually get us there, and we're at home. I don't think they take advantage of they take this for granted. I think we would convincingly. I feel like the game would be 42-10 Niners.
Wow. You hear this,
42-10.
Miles?
And listen,
Forty-two ten.
Brock Purdy throws for that 20 completions that you're looking for. Christian McCaffrey, Christian McCaffrey,
plays.
listen, Christian McCaffrey runs for
Sam Darnold plays.
no, Christian McCaffrey runs for under 100 yards. He runs for under 100 yards, under 87 at that. But he still have a great game. But this game is going to come down to Brock Purdy, and Brock Purdy is going to win convincingly, and he's going to shut up everybody about how they feel about elite quarterback status in the NFL. When he's going to go undefeated in the playoffs, ahead to the Super Bowl against the next pick, which we're going to pick now, and that's KC versus Baltimore. First, I'll continue since I'm ranting right now. I'm gonna go first in this game, man. I struggle with this. I struggle with this for all the things y'all said about Lamar Jackson being playing the way he is, and the way he's just a man on a mission this season. I agree. I think that he's gonna pull, he's gonna pull some remarkable things off this weekend. Um, I feel like Odell Beckham is going to play a huge part in the game. I originally had Patrick Mahomes pulling it out and go again and giving out the Niners a run, but I don't see that happening this year. I think that the Baltimore Ravens, since Week 15, has been the best team in football, and I think they're going to pull out a tough one tomorrow on Sunday at 6 o'clock at home. And I think it's going to be a lot closer than people think. And I think it's not going to be the shootout people think. I think it's going to be a defensive battle. I think Roquan Smith holds Patrick Mahomes and Isaiah Pacheco um, under control. I think Rashae Rice have a good game, but I do see Baltimore winning 21-10 at home to go to the Super Bowl.
Mm.
Go ahead, Miles. Let me
Yeah,
hear what you think.
I'm going with Lamar Jackson through and through. He wins 24-21. It comes down to a field goal. He leads him down to a field goal, wins the game. He had an unbelievable game, and he kind of almost solidifies his MVP status.
Okay. Well, there was definitely going to be a blowout this weekend, and I think you got it backwards, Chris. I'm going with a blowout in this game. This is going to symbolize the passing of the guard. Mahomes is going to hand the crown over to Lamar
Mm.
after this weekend's game,
I can see that.
and Lamar is going to go on a 3 to 4 year tear tearing nothing but ass up in the AFC, and I think he gets 2 Super Bowls out of it.
Mm.
But I'm going 35-14. Too much ground and pound. Uh, the lack of talent around Mahomes finally shows. You know what I'm saying? It finally comes to the surface, and he just doesn't have enough to win. And they make it their business this offseason to go out and get some guys to help out Mahomes. He maybe even takes another pay cut to bring some guys in that can really contribute. But I see this Chiefs defense having absolutely no answers for the physicality of Baltimore on offense and the speed on the perimeter that they have.
Hey,
So
hey, Alan, question. Since you brought that up, it just came to mind, but you brought it up about him taking a pay cut. Do they is Mike Evans the answer?
I don't think that's an option for Mike.
Too cold.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
you
think so
just
too,
spent
but
he just
it was a
spent he
question
just
that
spent
I
a
don't want to know.
decade he just spent a decade in the tropics.
Yeah,
Like next thing he's doing is going somewhere tropical or indoors.
right, which is Houston or that.
Yep.
I like Diggs. I like Diggs to KC in that trade. I like Diggs to
Ooh.
KC. I mean,
I mean,
it's cheaper. It's cheaper than Tyreek.
as
It's cheaper than
Does he
Tyreek.
fit in though?
Buffalo. I mean,
Does he fit in? I think he has personality wise, he's a little,
DJ.
Tariq-ish. And they got rid of him. They got rid of him like it was nothing.
Yeah. I think they got rid of him though more so because of his number. And I feel like Tyreek is right now. Diggs is a cheaper option than Tyreek. Obviously, because Tyreek, one of the richest contracts in the NFL. Diggs is too, but it's not. It's not Tyreek's. Um, and it's probably right around the number that they was trying to pay Tyreek. So I feel like if you going if you get you can go get the receiver that you kind of was gonna pay for anyway in Tyreek if you originally took the deal that you wanted them to take, and you give Mahomes a bona fide number one. I mean, like Kelsey's out of there. Like if he's not retiring this year, if he doesn't retire this year, he's
You
definitely
think
not the
he's
same guy.
retiring?
That's what I'm
He's
hearing.
definitely not the same guy, even if he comes back. He's not the same guy. So you,
He just he's still playing at a high level, guys.
uh,
Like, like what are y'all talking about?
I mean, well, I guess the
Rumors, man.
yeah, yeah,
You gotta
I know
entertain it.
I'm
As
just saying. I'm
entertainers, you
just
gotta
saying
entertain
like
the rumors.
y'all
Season
act like
25.
he's but you acting like he might be trying to get a re-up. So you threaten walking away from the game, but he's still playing at an extremely high level.
You never know, man.
yeah. Well, I mean, if he
Taylor
does it,
Swift might be in his ear or something like, hey, let's just go off into the sunset.
And Taylor Swift is just starting to enjoy and understand football. She's good for bit. She's good for business.
yeah, you ain't lying.
Seriously, did you see how many young girls said they started watching football and want to understand
Yeah,
football because Taylor Swift likes it?
yeah, yeah.
I
It's
knew it
definitely
was
an
gonna be
effect
some
to
kind
it.
of domino
It
effect.
definitely is
I
an
didn't know
effect.
that.
It definitely is an effect.
I seen they had the little girl on ABC America or whatever because Kelsey picked her up and she got the chance to say hey to Taylor Swift and that was the best moment of her life.
Oh yeah, it's
I,
a power.
I,
It's
I,
a it's a power
No
couple.
other football
Listen,
player has ever done anything like that.
I definitely think that.
Chris and Miles. Listen to this real quick, and this is my last little detour, but this is what happened. He dropped his black girlfriend,
Mhm,
picked up a billionaire girlfriend,
mhm.
started doing commercials for shots for COVID, and I mean, hey, sound like somebody got a plan to me.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Listen, man,
Sound
I
sound
ain't
like
mad
there's a
at the
lot of
man.
there's a lot of people behind you. when you have a girlfriend worth $2 billion, your endorsements change.
Yeah,
Everything around you
yeah.
changes.
You see the way he showed up to the game, man. Like he looked
Yeah,
like he looked like $1 million, literally.
look like money.
Looked like $1 million, literally, man. Well, it's gonna be interesting. It's again games this weekend. AFC NFC Championship game. Friday, Saturday and Sunday, 3 o'clock NFC Championship game. Niners versus the Lions, and then we got the AFC Championship game Sunday, 6 o'clock. Rams versus the Chiefs. Winner goes to the Super Bowl. So picks are in. We're gonna see how this all works out. We're all 6-4. Somebody separating from somebody. Looks like me and Miles kind of got the same picks, so we're gonna be in the same chair. Soon you got a chance to separate. We'll see how it turns out, man. I don't like that Niners pick, but you know,
Let's go.
I mean, good luck. You know what I mean? But hey, great show, man. Great podcast. Hey, real quick, man. Any closing remarks? You got the floor, Stu. Anything you want to say, man? Talk about promote.
Um, been a been a great football season up to now. I don't expect anything different for this weekend's games. The biggest thing to notice about every team that's in the playoff, man, they had the ability to run the football. They were physical, gritty. All these teams throwing the ball around, they didn't make it. All right, that's why Green Bay had a little tough time, but they were leading and rushing down the last five weeks of the season. But you got to run the football. You got to be physical. You got to punch people in the mouth. Um, but that's about it, man. Y'all check me out on the Game Changer Chronicles.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Coach Miles, what you got?
Game Changer Chronicles, Saliva Sport. There's some great information on there. Follow it, catch it. There's some great information on there. Definitely tutorial and DMs open. So but other than that, man, I think everything's going good. Shout out to PC Riz, man. We're making big things shake over there. And at the end of the day, all we talk about is chips, and that's what I'm on. Chips. So,
Yes, sir.
appreciate
Yes,
you,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Man, Coach Chris here. Hey, Niners, go Niners, go Niners, baby. Bang, bang, Niner game this weekend. I expect to have a dub and get ready to watch the Super Bowl. I expect to finish what we started last year in reference to losing to the Eagles because we didn't have a quarterback literally. My lady's waiting for the same thing. She's a big Niners fan, so we're gonna watch the game together. Actually, she's in North Carolina. I can't even watch it with her. We're gonna watch it together somehow. But we going all the way, baby. Hey, real quick, man, drop a 5 picks. For all those who plays in the prize picks or fan duels, whatever the case may be. Go ahead and take it. Odell over 20 yards this game. 20 yards receiving. Justin Watkins under over 14.5 yards receiving. Patrick Mahomes under 25.5 yards rushing. And Isaiah Pacheco under 66.5 yards rushing. And Jared Goff under 1.5 yards rushing. Take it. Take it. Take it. I'm guaranteeing that a hit.
I'll definitely
Hey,
take that 1.5 on them.
yes, sir. Yes, sir. This is Drop Five Podcast. It's your boy, Coach Chris.
It's your boy, Coach Miles.
And it's still shout out, man. We are gone. Drop Five Podcast.